Well, a great talent who's been at Manchester City making a difference for a long time, and a young man who came in today and looked absolutely at ease, didn't he, at left back?
He did, and he spoke well as well. Confident lad there, and he played with that confidence. It's not easy stepping in, no matter how well City are playing. When you come in as a young lad, you're nervous. He wasn't nervous. He was always available for the ball and attacking threat. Of course, the goal, you can maybe look at him slightly, but I think he should take a lot of pleasure at the performance he made tonight.
Yeah, we'll take a look at his performance in detail a bit later on. But let's run through the goals for you. And as we've already said for the second time, it's a perfect hat-trick for Sergio Aguero, right foot, left foot and the header. They've decided it's his goal. I'm not sure how you work out it's his goal because...
We'll have to take his word for it. I love this goal because of the connection between the two players. The catalyst for this is the shift of the ball. Aguero's position is perfect for a striker in the box. You want to get in between defenders. You're not being marked by either of them. And then as he shifts the ball, he knows exactly where he wants to run. He's so sharp with his movement, we know that anyway. Good bite. Newcastle defenders cannot get at him and he gets the smallest flick on it.
You see here, Kieran Clark, one of three centre-halves there. He's looking there. The moment he looks there, that's the moment that Kevin De Bruyne shifts the ball. And it's all about timing at this situation in the box. His timing's off, Aguero's is on. And once you lose that yard, he takes a step the wrong way because he hasn't seen the shift of the ball. And then there's no way back. The ball's in the back of the net before you can make amends with your movement. And it's a fine line. Small little details like that will define it. He really, as a defender, you take one look, you take a picture of the situation, and you shouldn't need to look again, especially with three defenders at the back there. He should be going and man-marking Aguero there, having no doubts.
But other players say you should be constantly looking all the time. And it was Leroy Sané who was a few yards away. You can't blame him for wanting just to have a little bit of a look.
If you do look that one time, you will see that his other defensive partner there can take Leroy Sané. I mean, it's difficult because it's happening so quick, and that's what separates the good defenders from the top great defenders. That being able to take one look, get a picture of it, and owning that position straight away, and understanding what situation you're in. That's my man. Identify it quick, take over the situation.
And trusting your teammate as well. If you see that Leroy Sané's got a man with him, you have to kind of trust that that's looked after, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I think, Rio, you know better than me, Rio, as a centre-half, you'd have been there many times, and you're right, the head needs to be on a swivel, but sometimes top movement, perfect movement and a perfect delivery makes it very hard. It's unfortunate that it was so good because that makes us all analyse that small mistake that he made. Yeah,
sometimes as a defender, you'd watch it and I've done it loads. You'd pick everything out of a situation like that. I'd go into the office on Monday and I'll be going, that's my fault, that's my fault. But then someone will come in, Gary Neville was quite good at it, he'd come in and go, you know what, sometimes it's a great ball and great movement, you can't actually do it, there's not enough time to react. And reluctantly you'd say that, but top professionals will always look at themselves first, and I'm sure Kieran Clark will do that.
And does that just come from Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero just playing so often with each other that as soon as he switches onto his other foot, Aguero just knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's intelligence. Great players have intelligence. They know their teammates. Not just that moment there, but everything Manchester City do as a team is like second nature. They all know they're so well drilled. They must do this in training all the time. Aguero's cute. He knows his first position. De Bruyne, as soon as he moves it, naturally then he delivers brilliantly. It's all in tandem with each other. Intelligent players throughout their team.
We were about 20 seconds in, weren't we, when you just said they look so well drilled. You could see it straight away.
Yeah, and like Frank just said there, it's from the training ground. This is going to be from hours and hours on the training ground, drilling into the players, which positions you take up. The two wingers always stay high and wide once they get the ball at the back to pin back the opposition's fullbacks, to allow more space in the middle of the pitch. There's so many catalysts throughout the team that allow them to play.
So we've spoken about a good ball into the box, we've spoken about swift movement. What about pace? Because that's what created the second goal, wasn't it?
Well, I always wish that I had pace as a player because it's deadly. But you know what I love here? Good old-fashioned 1-2. They're full of 1-2s throughout their team. They pass and they run quickly behind you. And that will pretty much beat any defender in the world. When you've got that pace, the minute you're the other side, bang, bang, on the other side of you, you've got a real problem. And you feel for the Newcastle defender as well, because by the time he realises it, you can see there's a desperation in the challenge, enough of a lean on him to send him down, and it's a penalty.
The defender there will be saying, oh, no. He'll be saying it in slow-mo in his head, and there's nothing you can do about it. When it's that quick and that precise, with the 1-2, Silva's appreciation, the pass, the timing, the weight on the ball, it all has to come together, and that's what they're doing better than anyone at the moment.
And I think some players with pace, and it frustrates me, they don't utilise it enough. You need to use it, and that's what I think Raheem Sterling's game's gone up a level this year, because he's actually using his pace to hurt defenders around the box.
Yeah, he's bringing a defender out, isolating him and saying, right, I'm going to expose you pace-wise, playing a ball and moving.
So what's the trick as a defender not to allow that to happen? Because as soon as we saw that, you said, I want to see that again at full speed, just to see the pace that
you can't defend that sometimes. Like we were saying before, there are situations you can. Listen, you have to be quick, for one, and you have to identify when he plays that 1-2, I know he's going to be running in behind. So you turn and you don't think about anything else. The moment you delay and think, where's he going? You're out of the game.
This is it at full speed.
The defender, once he's there and he stands him up, you've got to go.
There's a tiny second there of a delay, as Rio said. When you know you're in a race with someone who's as quick as Raheem Sterling, you have to go instantly. The only problem you have when that ball goes inside is the space behind you. Yeah. If he checks back out, great, I'll let you deal with that. But I cover that space straight away in case you go there, and he goes there.
And too often, defenders, when the 1-2's played across you there, if you follow the ball like that, the winger's gone. You're out of the game. That's your first instinct.
You can't not follow the ball, no?
Well, you don't follow the ball. That's
always with the man.
If you're a defender, you have to go with a man. The ball's not going to hurt you in terms of getting the ball. You're not going to get to the ball. It's too quick. Stay with the man and stop him.
Interesting. And no doubts about the penalty, by the way. You were both very happy that the penalty award was correct.
I think so. There's enough, as I say, the desperation, a bit of a lean on Raheem Sterling. We're analysing every penalty decision so much now, but I do think there was enough there. Yeah.
OK, and then we've got something else to deal with. Go on, what did you want to say?
No, I can't wait to talk about this goal.
Right, off you go then. Talk about the goal.
No, Sane, I love this guy. He's a great player. But you can't see a goal coming at the end of this once he gets the ball here. Where's it coming from? What's he seeing here? But let you play it on here, and he just makes it out of nothing. Tears through the middle of the defence. Yedlin was brought on. He wished he was never brought on this pitch. He absolutely destroys him there. Puts it on a plate for Aguero. And for me, Sane is the best attacking wide player for me in the league. He's fantastic to watch. Great player. So mature in his decision-making.
I think it's the pace and balance of his movement there. Reminds me of the great Ryan Giggs goal when he was just shifting past people at ease. Here's like a pirouette. I was just saying his mum was a gymnast. There's the balance, bang. The balance is always there. And then the awareness, and that's another thing about him. We're looking at that, that's just great skill. But we were talking during the game about how mature he is. There'll be times when he gets the ball and he just knocks it off. There's times when he makes a run, an unselfish run inside to open up the space for the young left-back behind him. All these attributes at 22 years of age.
Yeah, and the young fullback had more touches of the ball than anyone on the pitch today. Yeah. And I think a lot of that will be attributed to his movement. Obviously, he's coming in all the time, coming inside when the ball's developing, allowing the left-back to come on and receive the ball so often in attacking areas. It's great to see from such a young player.
Yeah. OK, well, you two glowing in your praise of Manchester City today. No wonder he's smiling. 81% possession over the 90 minutes.
Well, unfortunately, we've actually started to expect that from City. They do it to most teams. They seem not put off track from anything last week, and that's the beauty of this team, the self-belief in what they do. Even though they made some mistakes, they lost the game last week, straight back at it today.
I think we kind of get caught up in stats, possession, but I think if you look at the entries into the opponent's box as well, would be a telling point as well. There were 20-odd clearances in the first half. So that tells you that there's an intent with all the possession that they have, which is, I think that's even, that elevates it even higher.
Let's talk about the other end of the pitch for Manchester City. We spoke about John Stones coming back from injury and just finding his form again before the game. What did you make of his role in the Newcastle goal?
I thought maybe he could have helped the fullback. I think it's great play from Newcastle. But I'll show it here as the ball goes forward. The attacking player there, Joshlu's going away from goal, and it's a fantastic finish.
It's a great. I mean, the way, the way to hurt City, where they play so high up the pitch. As soon as you win it back as quick as you can, you have to try and play behind them. Remember, you noticed the space.
Joshlu's going away from goal here. So Stones, for me, needs to stay central in the park. There's nothing out there in the wide area is going to be happening. But he's motioning across that side of the pitch, which opens that gap in the middle between him and the young fullback, which leaves the left-back isolated. And his position maybe could have been better. He could have realised and run back towards goal quicker. But once Murphy's in here, it's game over, and it's a fantastic finish. I mean, his brother scored one similar against Arsenal for Norwich the other day, identical twins.
That's because they learned their trade at an amazing club.
Norwich.
Move on.
And move on. Well, yes, inevitably they do move on. But it was actually a really cool finish. First Premier League goal at Manchester City. That tells you something, doesn't it, about him?
It's a really cool finish. I mean, as he ran towards the goalkeeper, I thought it was a bit straight on. And I worry sometimes, can you get your angle to slip it past him? Even better. Cool. And dinks it over him. So that bodes well for him that he can finish like that.
Yeah. But, with Stones, I mean, we're nitpicking sometimes. And it's just that instinct of defending first sometimes. And I think he's got huge potential, John Stones. And I think sometimes when I used to play as well, there's similar things between us that I used to think about getting on the ball before anything. And I think in a Pep Guardiola team, you've got to do that more so. But I think if you get that defensive instinct in your system early in a game and get yourself on the ball, assertive, assured in terms of defending first, I think we won't see as many mistakes from John Stones, and confidence. He's just come back from injury. Sometimes you need a bit of time.